Before we start, imagine an AI rejects your job application before a human sees it, or a facial recognition camera flags you as a criminal because of how you look. This is happening now. Today, we unpack an uncomfortable truth. AI is biased and discriminatory, and the companies building it are not fixing it. Let's begin. What if the future is built on a broken foundation? AI is everywhere, making life-changing decisions about your job, loan, and freedom. When AI gets it wrong, it affects millions, quietly and systematically. AI bias hides inside algorithms, wrapped in objectivity. Remember this. This is not a glitch. It is by design. Let's look at some real consequences. 83% of facial recognition errors target dark-skinned women. Resumes with black-sounding names get 40% lower callback rates. Black defendants are twice as likely to be flagged as future criminals by AI, even accounting for history. MIT researcher Buolamwini discovered her face was invisible to AI until she wore a white mask. This is a symptom of something deeper. AI is not magic. It learns patterns from data to make predictions. If the data is biased, the AI learns that bias. For example, if historical resumes show a preference for one group, the AI adopts that pattern. The core problem is simple: garbage in, garbage out. If the data is biased, the AI will be biased. Period. AI is woven into your daily life. It makes decisions about your hiring, policing, and loans, often without your consent. Bias in AI is a civil rights problem. The system works invisibly. You don't get a notification saying an AI rejected you. When the system works invisibly against you, you have no way to fight back. A biased human affects a few people. A biased AI, like HireVue, screens over 700 million candidates annually. 117 U.S. police departments use facial recognition AI. Once deployed, these systems run on autopilot with no human review. AI bias doesn't discriminate randomly. It follows historical patterns of oppression. AI discriminates efficiently. AI bias is when a system produces systematically unfair results for certain groups. It consistently favors some groups over others. It originates in training data, design, and deployment context. The AI doesn't know it's biased, which is dangerous. AI doesn't have prejudice. It has mathematical certainty about prejudiced outcomes. AI bias has three faces. Historical bias. AI learns from past discrimination, such as equating men with leadership. Representation bias. Training data underrepresents groups, leading to failure for those groups, like facial recognition failing on darker skin. Measurement bias. The training metric is flawed, such as using arrest records as a proxy for criminality, ignoring policing disparities. These biases are active and rarely audited. AI bias is more dangerous than human bias. Human bias is often detectable and accountable. AI bias affects millions daily and makes millions of decisions per second, hidden inside black box algorithms. When AI makes a wrong decision, who do you blame? There is no process to dispute an AI outcome. AI doesn't discriminate less than humans. It discriminates more efficiently. AI can be racist, sexist, and classist. Face recognition misidentifies black and brown faces at dramatically higher rates. AI hiring tools systematically favor male candidates. Credit AI penalizes low-income applicants using discriminatory proxy data. Intersectionality makes it worse. If you are a black woman, you face all three layers of bias simultaneously. Let's look at real-world cases, starting with facial recognition bias. MIT researcher Buolamwini discovered I couldn't recognize her face until she wore a white mask. Her gender shade study found that IBM's facial recognition had a 34.7% error rate for dark-skinned women versus 0.3% for light-skinned men. This exposed industry-wide failures across major systems like IBM and Microsoft. Robert Williams, a black man in Detroit, was arrested in front of his family for a crime he never committed. The evidence was a grainy security image matched by facial recognition AI. Police arrested him without verifying the match. He was held for 30 hours before charges were dropped. This was the first documented case of a wrongful arrest due to facial recognition AI. How many other victims are there? Amazon built an AI to automate hiring, trained on 10 years of historically male-dominated resume data. The AI learned that male equals qualified. It penalized resumes with the word women's, such as Women's Chess Club, and downgraded graduates of all women's colleges. Amazon scrapped the tool after discovering the problem, but kept it hidden until 2018. How many women were silently rejected before this was discovered? COMPAS is an AI tool used by judges to predict a defendant's likelihood of reoffending, influencing bail and sentencing. A ProPublica investigation found Black defendants were nearly twice as likely to be falsely flagged as, quote, high risk compared to white defendants. Defendants cannot see or challenge the algorithm, which is used in many states. This is algorithmic injustice, a black box determining people's lives. In healthcare, an algorithm used on over 200 million U.S. patients assigned health scores based on healthcare cost to determine specialized care. Black patients historically spent less on healthcare due to systemic barriers, so the AI concluded they were healthier and denied them extra care. Black patients had to be significantly sicker than white patients to receive equal care. The algorithm wasn't intentionally racist. Cost simply was not an objective metric. Let's talk about financial AI bias. The 2019 Apple Card scandal showed that the algorithm gave men 10 times higher credit limits than their wives, despite shared assets. Separately, algorithms use zip codes as predictors, which correlate with race due to historical redlining, leading to lower credit for people in Black neighborhoods. Neutral data leads to racist outcomes, perpetuating inequality. AI shapes the information you consume and whose voices get silenced. Twitter's image AI cropped Black faces out. Instagram suppressed Black Lives Matter posts. YouTube amplified extremist content. TikTok documents showed suppressing content from users who were, quote, ugly, poor, or disabled. All content is filtered by AI prioritizing engagement, not fairness or justice. A scorecard of AI failure shows consistent bias across every major domain. Facial recognition harms Black and brown people. Hiring AI harms women in tech. Criminal justice AI harms Black defendants. The pattern is clear. AI systematically performs worse for marginalized groups, and the severity of harm is high across the board. The first root cause is the data problem. AI learns from data reflecting our biased world. There is no neutral data set. Foundational image and medical data sets overrepresent Western, white, and male populations. Historical data reflects historical injustice, encoded in math and repeated at scale. Root cause 2 is that AI learns from an unjust history. Redlining in the 1930s to 60s made zip codes racial proxies. Decades of discriminatory hiring caused data to skew male and white. Over-policing in the 1990s and 2000s made arrest data a proxy for criminality. All of this history is fed into AI as ground truth, automating past discrimination. Root cause 3 is about who labels the data. Humans classify training data as good or bad, hired or rejected. These labelers bring their biases. For instance, predominantly white labelers classified natural Black hairstyles as, quote, unprofessional. The labeling layer is where human prejudice flows most directly into AI, even when done by crowdsourced workers. The feedback loop trap is the fourth root cause. Biased AI is deployed, making wrong decisions at scale. Those biased outcomes are fed back in as new data. The AI learns even worse patterns. Predictive policing is the clearest example. The AI suggests policing certain areas, leading to more arrests, which reinforces the AI's initial bias as true data. Root cause 5. Who is building AI? The AI industry is not diverse, leading to massive blind spots. If diverse perspectives are absent, AI failures against marginalized groups are missed. When experts like Timnit Gebru and Margaret Mitchell raised bias concerns at Google, they were fired, sending a clear message. Ethical critique is career limiting. Bias compounds across the entire development pipeline. Historical data is biased. Labeling is biased. The algorithm design lacks fairness constraints, and deployment lacks auditing. The result is a system consistently harming the same marginalized groups with mathematical confidence. Bias multiplies at every step, creating exponential unfairness. Why don't companies fix it? Fixing bias is expensive. Deploying fast is profitable. Companies prioritize speed over fairness. Small fines, like Meta's $115,000 penalty for housing ad discrimination, are a rounding error on their massive revenue. When the penalty for bias is cheaper than compliance, companies have a financial incentive to allow bias to persist. Most advanced AI systems are black boxes, unable to explain their decisions, even to their creators. For example, defendants facing Compass scores cannot challenge the algorithm because it's a trade secret. Without explainability, there is no accountability. Explainable AI is a research field, but not a deployed reality. leaving victims with no recourse. There is a massive regulation gap. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive law, but the US offers only voluntary guidelines. This allows companies to regulate themselves. By the time laws catch up, AI is already deployed worldwide, affecting millions. In this regulatory vacuum, companies profit and people bear the cost. Ethics washing is the practice of promoting AI ethics publicly while continuing harmful practices internally. Companies like Google and Microsoft create ethics boards and principles, but fire or lay off internal critics when the heat is on. Ethics washing provides PR cover, but doesn't reduce harm, allowing discrimination to continue unchecked. AI bias steals real things from people: opportunities like jobs and admissions, freedom through wrongful arrests and excessive sentencing, wealth via loan and insurance denials, and health through delayed diagnoses. AI is systematically stealing futures and lives at scale, efficiently, and with algorithmic certainty. AI bias erodes the social contract. When AI systems are known to be biased, people can't trust the institutions using them: courts, hospitals, and banks. Selective distrust creates a two-tier digital society. A biased AI doesn't just harm individuals, it erodes the foundation of trust necessary for a functioning democracy. This is a global problem, especially for the Global South. AI systems built in the US and EU are deployed globally, but often tested only on Western populations. In Ethiopia, Kenya, and Nigeria, facial recognition trained on 98% Western data is used for border control. This is digital colonialism. Local data is extracted to build systems that serve Western interests, increasing global inequality. So what are people doing about it? Efforts include collecting diverse datasets for more representative inputs, which is partial progress. Bias audits are rare but aim for independent testing. Explainable AI is emerging to show how decisions are made. Algorithmic fairness seeks mathematical constraints, but different fairness metrics are contested. The EU AI Act represents real progress toward legal accountability. Current solutions often fall short. Fairness through unawareness, removing race data, fails because proxy variables carry the same bias. Different fairness metrics are mathematically incompatible, making trade-offs unavoidable. Voluntary ethics boards often fail when they conflict with revenue. Critically, even perfect AI fairness cannot correct for the unequal real-world conditions it measures. Is true fairness in AI possible? Optimists believe that regulation, transparency, and diverse teams can make AI meaningfully fairer. Realists argue that AI trained on historical data will always inherit structural inequality. Without addressing societal unfairness, we are only painting over a cracked wall. The fundamental question is, who defines what fairness means? As Buolamwini said, code is not neutral. It is written by human beings. Human beings with assumptions, preferences, histories, blind spots, and biases. When we forget this, we allow deeply political systems to appear objective. AI simply reflects the world. It takes human bias and gives it the authority of mathematics. In conclusion, AI bias is real, documented, and causing measurable harm, primarily to marginalized groups. It compounds across the entire pipeline, and companies often prioritize profit over fairness. While solutions exist, they are voluntary and contested. Ultimately, fixing AI bias requires confronting the social inequalities that created it. What can you do? Question AI. Ask who built it and whose data was used. Demand diversity in AI teams and support public bias auditing. Push for laws and contact your representatives to demand regulation. Finally, educate others. Share this video. Visibility is the most powerful tool against a system that operates through invisibility. The future of AI is being written right now. The question is, who is in the room when it's written? It is crucial that we all demand a future where the systems governing our lives reflect the values and needs of everyone. Make sure it's everyone.